Durga was passing. There we have a terrace and there we have a ये डाल के ना हम लोग को क्लास होता. Excellent. वो क्या है ना, the sea waters coming, no, वो आवाज आते थे. बहुत अच्छा था. Morning, evening, है ना, क्लास होता. क्लास होता. Excellent.
Okay, we will start the session now, I think.
Yeah, exactly 6:30 हो गया. Class is started.
We will start now. Sahana bhavatu, Sahano bhunaktu, Sahaviryam karavavahai, Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. So we were on verse 36. Next week, anybody want to take up 22, verse 22? Any volunteers?
I'll do, ma'am.
Diva. Okay. Next week, okay? 22. Divya, you gave thumbs up. Rajashri didn't come.
Ma'am, we had some internet issues. There was no power actually.
Okay.
And I mean, lot of confusion was there. So she could have attended on my phone, but that also. I didn't attend Narayaniam also. I logged very late. I think she'll. Sorry, ma'am. Extremely sorry about that.
No. I just wanted to check. Okay. So, let's chant 15 shlokas today, this week. And then the next few we will do the next week. So, we have what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. 3, 3 each. Who will start?
I'll start with the first 3, ma'am.
Sure. Go ahead.
Tapoਭीक्ष न पापानां शान्तानां वीतरागिणां मुमुक्षाणामभिक्षोयमात्मबोधो विधीयते
बोधो अन्य
साधनेभ्यो हि साक्षान्यमोक्षैकसाधनं पाकस्य वहि वाज्ञानं विना मोक्षो न सिद्धयति अविरोधितया कर्म न विधां विनिवर्तयेत् विद्या विद्यानि हन्त्येव तेजस्तिमिरसन्धवत्. Should I continue?
Shall I start?
Yeah.
परिच्छिन्न इवाज्ञानात् तन्नाशे सति केवलः स्वयं प्रकाशते ह्यात्मा मेघापायेषु मानिव अज्ञानकलुषं जीवं ज्ञानाभ्यासाद्विनिर्मलं कृत्वा ज्ञानं स्वयं नश्येज्ज्वलं कथ आरती मैडम
कृत्वा
could you please
ज्ञानं
help me?
स्वयं नश्ये जलं कतकरेणुः
कृत्वा ज्ञानं स्वयं नश्ये जलं कतकरेणुवत् संसारः स्वप्नतुल्यो हि रागद्वेषादिसङ्कुलः स्वकाले सत्यवद्भाति प्रबोधे सत्यसद्भवेत्
तावत् सत्यं जगद्भाति शुक्तिकारजतं यथा यावन्यायते ब्रह्म सर्वदिष्टानमद्वयम् उपादानेऽखिलाधारे जगन्ति परमेश्वरे सर्गस्थितिलयान् यान्ति बुद्बुदानीव वारिणि सच्चिदात्मन्युष्यते नित्ये विष्णो प्रकल्पिताः व्यक्तो विविधा सर्वा हाटके कटकादिवत्
यथाकाशो ऋषिकेशो नानोपाधिगतो विभुः तद्भेदाद्भिन्नवद्भाति तन्नाशे केवलो भवेत् नानोपाधिवशादेव जातिवर्णाश्रमादयः आत्मन्यारोपितस्तस्तो ये रसवर्णादिभेदवत् पञ्चीकृत महाभूत संभवं कर्म संचितं शरीरं सुखदुःखानां भोगायत भोगायतन तनु भोगायतन्मुच्यते
भोगायतनमुच्यते
भोगायतनमुच्यते
Who hasn't chanted?
Myself.
Yes, Jayama.
पञ्चप्राणमनोबुद्धि दशेन्द्रियसमन्वितम् अपञ्चीकृतभूतोत्थं सूक्ष्माङ्गं भोगसाधनम् अनाद्यविद्या निर्वाच्या कारणोपाधिरुच्यते उपाधित्रितयात् अन्यम् आत्मानामवधारयेत् पञ्चकोशाधियोगेन तत्तन्मय इव स्थितः शुद्धात्मा नीलवस्त्रादि योगेन स्फटिको यथा.
We will chant till here this time. Now we will, in the next class, we will chant the rest of it. So we were at the verse 36 where we were establishing again that, this Nitya Shuddha Vimukta Akhanda Ekam Advayam not to Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahmaham Eva Tat. That is what you are. Each one of us or you is all of this. So last week, very nicely, Divya was asking lots of questions, right? I mean, I don't feel like it yet. Very true. But that is Shabda Pramana. We have 3 types of Pramana, right? 3 types of Pramana. First is Pratyaksha Pramana. I mean, there are 6 types of actually Shad Pramanas. But the other 3 are pretty much variations of Anumana. So I am, you have Vikshepa, you have multiple levels of that Anumana. So I will talk basically about the 3 Pramana, which is easy to remember. One is Pratyaksha Pramana. Pratyaksha Pramana means directly I see it and I know it. Now I am not able, because I am believing in my senses. It is okay. So as we grow up, we grow through Pratyaksha Pramana when you're growing up. We say, the child cannot associate anything. We say ball, ball, light, light. And now that word, there is a nama given to that form. That child is, we are conditioning that child through Pratyaksha Pramana. So the next time it sees that, it knows that, oh, that is light. So that is, I was introduced to that as light. So that is light. It becomes Pratyaksha. What is there? Now I know. Pratyaksha means, today has Divya attended the class. I know she is there. You are Pratyaksha. I can see you. So that is Pratyaksha Pramana. I know you are there in the class. But I know Varalakshmi is not there in the class. So I will assume that she is very busy. There can be many assumptions. I'm not talking about Varalakshmi. I'm just, because she writes in the group, I'm just telling. Either she this time is not free for her. Maybe, she has some other class, or she's very busy with her children. I can make that Anumana. Or I can make one Anumana saying, this is called Anupalabdhi actually, but I'm putting it in Anumana only. Okay, Anumana is like inference. I am making an assumption in a way. So I can make multiple assumptions. When I make assumptions, I can make any kind of assumption in that whole process. Sometimes, like let's say, there is an assumption that there is fire. When the fire is there, there is no fire. I'm seeing smoke. So when I see smoke, I assume that there must be fire somewhere. That is an Anumana. That Anumana is closer to the truth, probably. But sometimes the Anumana can be very away from the truth. That is the degree of Anumana there. Like Chinese whispers, when somebody talks and then somebody, then you keep passing it on, and by the time it comes to the last person, the word has completely been distorted. It's like that. As it moves away from the source, the Anumana increases and it becomes less closer to the source. So any of those thoughts that we have in our mind, of all these self-doubts and all of these, are our own Anumana only. So that is why you know. Yeah, sorry. So, Shabda Pramana means what is given in either the Guru is telling or the Vedas and Upanishads are telling. So, Shabda Pramana is the words told by an expert, by an authority. Okay, now the Vedas and Upanishads are authority, our Gurus are authority, our Rishis are authority. So, somewhere there is Shraddha. The Shraddha is there. I am not able to see it right now. But the Shraddha is there that this is the truth. That is the Vedas is telling, which is, I am Nirantara. I am Nitya, I am Shuddha, I am Vimukta, Mukta, I am Akhanda, I am Ananda, I am Advayam, I am Satyam, I am Jnanam, I am Anantam, or I am just I Eva Nirdvandva. I am all of this. Shabda Pramana, I go with that Shabda Pramana. This is the truth. I am not yet able to see it. But I recognize this as the truth. And I work towards it. I know that what the mind is telling is Anumana. And what the Shabda Pramana is telling me is the truth. And I then know that it is just that there is some vasanas which are working, which is giving me this ego, and hence I am, and then getting in touch, and slowly the vasanas keep thawing. That Shraddha is the first thing. Remember, in the first we saw what are the adhikaratvam that we need to. Shama, Dama, Viveka, Mumukshutva, Shama, Dama, Shraddha, it's Shama, Dama, Adi, the sixfold. It says, no, tapobhihi kshina papanam shantanam vitaragitam mumukshunam apekshoyam Atma Bodha Vidiyate. So here in that shloka, it says discrimination of the real and unreal, viveka, detachment from the unreal, vairagya, sixfold wealth of goodness such as calmness. That is, the mind is in control, the senses are in control, there is shraddha. All of these, with all of these, we go steadily. We do not doubt the wisdom of the rishis. We do not doubt the Shabda Pramana. We take them as the authority and keep working towards it. Like a research explorer. I am into research. I am exploring. And I am constantly exploring to reach the goal, which is the true self. The true self, it is just two steps, two things to be done. Vasanakshaya, Manonasha. First step is Chitta Shuddhi. First step is Chitta Shuddhi. Chitta Shuddhi means all the vrittis in the mind, the too many activities and the kleshas. Vritti and klesha comes in Patanjali Yoga Sutra. That is, vrittis are the thoughts, actions, functionally also you're thinking, you're doing, activity is happening. All these are vrittis. Any activity is vritti. But in that, some activities get stuck like a broken record. Those are kleshas. And when we overcome those kleshas, that is Chitta Shuddhi. Initially. Those kleshas come because of vasanas. So when we slowly, the mind reduces, the thoughts are reducing, and I am able to be more ekagrata, more in ekagrata, in that single-minded. Whatever I'm doing, I'm able to do that. Otherwise, I am cooking, my mind is somewhere. I am doing this, my mind is going on with something. All the time, too many kleshas, even it is there. So Chitta Shuddhi leads to Chitta Ekagrata. And in Chitta Ekagrata, we slowly, the vasanas thaw. The vasanas have to thaw. And finally, the mind itself will become nasha. Because when the vasanas are not there, there's no space for mind. Then you shine only as the Atman.
That's why the single pointedness is insisted, right?
Yeah. So for that, they have given, yes. They have given 4 ways. One is Karma Yoga. How can I just sit and do all my thing? It is happening. There are so many people struggling in the world. They need to know this knowledge. Everybody in this world, they are Brahman and he is crying. There is Brahma because of the wailing. There is another Brahman who is crying because of the disease he is having. There's another Brahman because they are crying because somebody has died in the family. They all need to know the truth about Brahman and remove that veil. So that is Karma Yoga. When you go ahead and work towards that. Otherwise, so for Manonasha, this is also Manonasha. In the mind, these vrittis or kleshas are coming. So I just replace it with, I'm just lost in Narayana, in Shiva, Om Namah Shiva. The mind is just filled with that is also Manonasha, because I have no other vrittis, no space for anything else. The space is only there for Bhagavan. That is Bhakti. Then you have Raja Yoga, where you do meditation and then you go to Samadhi. In Raja Yoga, you still believe in 2 worlds. There is a world. You believe that the world is real. For Raja Yoga, they believe that the world is real, and when they get into Samadhi, the world is completely destroyed for them. There's no world. They completely consciously, we go into Samadhi when we sleep, but this is consciously going. You're still alert, but the world does not exist. Then they know that the world is not real. So that is the state of Samadhi. And in Atma Vidya, this is in Jnana Yoga, do self-enquiry. Who am I? Whenever a thought arises, I say, To whom is this thought coming? That is Ramana's method. Vidyaranya has written in his commentary how he will say, make it like a yajna. The body, that Bhur Bhuva Swaha. Bhur Bhuva Swaha are the three worlds. What are the Bhur Bhuva Swaha? When they talk only about the three worlds, it is this body, the senses, and then the mind, and then the intellect. All these three have become Swaha into the self. Imagine the self as that fire. Fire into which the yajna is happening. Yajna of what? All the senses. Whatever the sense perceptions, all the mental perceptions, all the intellectual perceptions, everything becomes swaha into the fire of the self. That is a yajna. It is also self-inquiry only. You can either do, Ramana method says, who am I? Just observe that stillness, that I beyond the body and the mind, in the hridaya, and be with it. It will slowly thaw away. Okay. We'll move to the next one. Verse 37. Anybody who wants to repeat after me? We haven't done this, right? Verse 37.
No, ma'am, we were supposed to start today.
Yeah. Okay, all of you can repeat in mute. Evam nirantara krita brahmaivasmiti vasana haratya vidya vishepan rogani varasayanam evam nirantara krita brahmaivasmiti vasana haratya vidya vishepan rogani varasayanam. Now we'll chant it together. Evam nirantara krita brahmaivasmiti vasana haratya vidya vishepan rogani varasayanam. Okay. Anybody who'd like to read the word by word translations and the
Evam, thus, Nirantarabhyasta, practiced constantly. Brahma eva asmi, I am Brahman.
That's why it is written as Nirantara Abhyasa. Is it in that? In your...
Nirantarabhyasta. Nirantarabhyasta.
Okay. Go on.
I mean, what did you read, ma'am? I was saying.
I read it as Nirantara Krita.
I was reading it. I was a bit distracted also.
No problem.
Vasana, impression. Harati, destroys. Avidya, vikshepan, ignorance and agitations. Rogan, diseases. Iva, like. Rasayanam, medicine. The impression I am Brahman, thus created by constant practice, destroys ignorance and the agitations caused by it, just as medicine or rasayanam destroys diseases. Should I continue? The knowledge
continue and finish reading the whole thing.
Ma'am?
Please read the whole thing.
Okay. The knowledge of the identity of Brahman and Atman stated above, when intensified by long reflection, destroys ignorance, just as medicine administered cures the diseases and itself gets eliminated. Constant practice is emphasized because over a period of past lives, a lot of vasanas have accumulated and we have to get rid of them. Also, we must eliminate all our attachments and identifications with our body, mind, intellect, equipment. The seeker of truth should ever remember the detached nature of the pure self and thus come to give up all his identifications with his material sheaths and therefore all ego centric misconceptions about himself. It is the ego that takes an individual, jiva, again and again to bondage, and it is this ego again that keeps him bound to the world of ignorance. When the duality is removed, then even the thought, I am Brahman, is dissolved in the all consuming knowledge of the self. There remains but one all absorbing experience of the non dual, eternal, and infinite Supreme Self. This subjective experience alone is the final culmination of all spiritual seeking because the self is not an object of cognition. It is a very light which illumines all our experiences. So, by constant jnana abhyasa, we have to eliminate all the vasanas, end the mind, and come to experience what the self, which is our essential nature. Come to experience that self, which is our essential nature. Just as the medicine we have, just as the medicine we take in of its own accord gets ultimately eliminated from us, so too the experience I am Brahman is also dissolved in that spiritual glow. So long as we are not asleep, we try to sleep, but when we reach sleep, all efforts end by themselves.
Beautiful example, no? The
Yeah.
last line said it. Perfect.
Simple but
Yeah.
very effective.
You want to read that note there? The spiritual glow ka. Refer to Atma Bodha verse 5.
Atma Bodha. In the place of I am body idea, in case the seeker maintains the constant remembrance that I am Brahman, it will create a new set of divine vasanas which will act as an antidote to the egocentric vasanas. The sense of individuality, Jiva Bhavana, brings about more and more agitations, while spiritual vasanas, Brahma vasanas, quieten the thought flow. This process will continue until the last of the thoughts end, and in the supreme silence of the mind, the Brahma vasana also ends, leaving the seeker to experience the self.
So
I mean, right
initially
now
we
we
have
might
to
have the desire to, you know, seek Brahman, but once we are there, that desire will also diminish.
Yeah, that effort also dissolves, that desire also dissolves. Initially, I need to hold on to it, to constantly remind me, who is I? Who am I? I am not this. I am not the body. I am not this. I am the Supreme Self. I am Brahman itself. Tattvamasi, Prajnanam Brahmam. I am Atma, Brahmam. All this I have to remember. That is for me to remember. But once you reach that state, like now I have slept. So then I don't need to remember that anymore. Once I have reached it, it is of no use anymore. Which will happen when all the vasanas have thawed. So, very nicely, I was just listening to Sarvapriyanandaji today after a very long time. He has had a very profound impact on my journey. I'm very, very grateful to him. Very simple, very easy. You should all listen to him if you can. So he speaks, whenever any disturbance arises in your mind, and you are thinking, why is this other person doing this to me? Why is that other person acting like this? And you are analyzing them, then you are still in the materialistic play. When the thought, some disturbance arises and you say, why am I still reacting to this? Why am I still getting disturbed by this? Why am I? Right now you are still, why is this mind reacting to this? Why is this mind still acting like this? So you have moved from outwards, slightly inwards. That is, you are established in yourself and you're questioning the mind. You're able to, otherwise it is the mind which is seeing the world. And the self is veiled in it. The mind is constantly looking outside and saying, why are they doing this? Why is this person doing this? So that is the ego, the mind, the jiva bhava, which is questioning the world. Why are they acting like that? And then when you turn around and say, who is it that is acting. Or if the next step, the disturbance comes, why am I still disturbed? Oh God. Why am I still getting disturbed by all these things? That time you are sitting in yours as yourself, as the witness, as the sakshi, and looking at the mind and telling, why is this mind so disturbed? Still. Right? So that is a step forward. And then slowly, so the first step, it is very important that first inward looking itself is one journey from outwards to inwards. And saying, I am disturbed. I am not disturbed. The mind is disturbed. And I am looking at the mind and seeing that it is disturbed. And slowly, I get control over the mind through all of these. Raja, karma, bhakti. Slowly take control over the mind, do vasanakshaya, and then the mind also becomes manonasha. The mind is destroyed when the vasanas are completely destroyed. This is what Bhagavan, no, he was very clear. Even now it is cold weather. I keep remembering Bhagavan Ramana. Okay, we feel so cold. We wear the jacket, and then I feel hot. Then I remove it, and I'm like, oh, I don't know. These days I'm having little hot flushes and things. I'm going through menopause. Okay, all this is happening to me. So I'm like, oh, that Ramana. Everybody would say it's so cold. He will go with one komanam. Okay, and everybody would say, please, it's getting very cold. Please put this shawl on. Please put this shawl on. He'll say, I already have Panchakosha on me. You want to put one more on me? Huh? You want me to do that? So established. Without a doubt, without this thing, without any confusion, always established in it. That is why he never ever answered any questions of his devotees. Anything they asked, he would say, who is thinking these thoughts? Question that. I've told this story before, but I'm just repeating it for us. Somebody, one of his sishyas would say, that person is expressing so much grief. For him also, you're telling who is feeling this grief. You're telling the same thing for everybody. So then he said, yeah, what I know only I can tell, right? First he said. Then he says, see, when somebody is struggling with some disease or somebody is drowning, will you ask them questions? How did you fall down? Why you fell down? What happened? You will ask those questions, or you will first try to get them out. I am only trying to get them to the shore by pointing them to who they are. Who are they? Focus on that. Let us try this exercise again today. Look at the wall. Sit up straight. So, first step in all this is first like the tortoise, kurma. All the senses should quickly recede inside. Okay? So keep all your eyes, ears, sense of taste, be aware of everything. Be aware of your senses, what you're seeing, that you're seeing, that you're hearing. None of these belongs to the senses. We think it belongs to the senses, but it belongs to the mind actually, because even in the dream you're seeing, you're tasting, you're hearing, you're feeling, and you're smelling. So now quickly retreat it. Close everything, close your eyes and retreat to the mind. How do you retreat to the mind? By focusing on the breath. Keep focusing on the breath. Your mind will not go to the senses. Like the tortoise, all the senses have receded. Focus on your breath. Now observe the breath. Observe the observer of the breath. Turn around 180 degrees. The one who was observing, now that you observe yourself, who was observing that breath. All the breath, the objects of the world exist in existence. The breath exists in existence. This existence is Sat. When I am aware of the objects, I know that there are these objects in the world. I know that there is a breath. All this knowing exists in the source of all knowing, which is consciousness or awareness. So all knowing is because of the awareness. All existence is in that supreme existence. And the experience, whatever experiences we have of joy, of sorrow, of hate, anger, disgust, all these experiences happen on the substratum of Ananda. These are mere superimpositions on the Ananda. Ananda is like that white light which has gone to through the prism of our vasanas, and though that prism has now deflected 7 colors, giving out our Shad Rasas or the Navarasa, the Arishad Varga, all of this. So all of these exist on the substratum of Sat, Chit, Ananda, which is the true self, which is the Brahman. Now just expand, try to look for this Brahman. Where is this consciousness located? Can you put a size to it? Can you put a dimension to it? Can you say it is here? Is there a form? Be in the silence. And be with the observer of the silence. You. Just be. Don't even be an observer now. Just be. There is no mind. Just you. Whenever you're ready, you may come back to your body. Bring your awareness. back to your body. And you may gently open your eyes. Anybody wants to?
Bharti
Hmm.
the body is in awareness. I am in awareness. I felt like awareness is everywhere. And the body is within that. And that example of Ananda is white light and the Navarasas coming out of that touched me so well. So whatever comes out of my sense organs is that split light. So I can easily take control of myself,
I just have to
my
trace
indriyas.
back to the white light.
Yes. So I always remember that I am the white light. That gives a sadhana, a prop for that matter. That example will be a prop so that I can apply it.
Initially, it is a intellectual thing only.
Mm.
And it's okay. But that repetition, that repeatedly, as we do stop giving in, that is our abhyasa, that is our sadhana. Vairagya, abhyasa, abhyasa, vairagya, vairagya, abhyasa. What is the vairagya? Detaching from bhur, bhuva, and swaha, and being with the self, the fire of the self, always. Just be there. That is vairagya. Abhyasa is this practice of doing this.
And I also should share
Abhyasa is being with the self. Vairagya is detaching from the non-self.
Since 2021, I joined you 20 or 21. I was struggling with my son that he doesn't open up. And today, with all this knowledge, yesterday we had one discussion. So initially it was like only discussion. Then I finally told him I love and respect him because he is also a Jiva and Paramatma like me. Within you, I respect that. He broke out. He cried a lot. Then he confessed. So it is a sort of opening a breakthrough. But it takes a long, long time to understand and to bring it to practice in real life.
So
The
important.
acceptance itself is acceptance itself to learn. It took nearly 5 years to learn that what is acceptance. But I'm happy for my effort. Almost full day I will be in the same status of understanding this and applying it.
And when you are with that self and you speak it out, that it is his love that is connecting to the other person.
Yes.
Not when we speak through our mind, not when we speak through our senses. When we
Definitely.
speak from the core of our existence, it connects. Because the one in me is the one in all.
Yes. I openly told him I did not know all this. I could parent you with my limited knowledge. And now that I have learned it, I will accept you. The being, whoever resides in us, is same. And I love and respect. I surrender to that, I said. I openly confessed and I accepted.
Honesty, humility.
Thank you so much. I just wanted to share this. This is because of the Vedanta knowledge and the
One by
teaching from
one,
you.
he is leading it. We are not doing anything. We are not doing anything. It is
And I
going.
should thank my son. Because of him, I turned inside. I took him to Vedanta
He
class.
gave him as the tool for you to turn inwards. He's there in your life.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you so much. Great gratitude.
How was the meditation for anyone else? Diva, you always say your mind is full of thoughts. How was it? You're muted, Diva.
Comparing to last time, I guess, ma'am, I feel more involved in this time. If you remember last time, I said I couldn't because when I open my eyes, I can't see the expanded version.
But
But
with
I
closed
think I
eyes,
am getting there, ma'am. Yeah. I can definitely say that I am one step ahead.
it's okay, it's just sadhana. 10 days it will work well, one day it will fail.
Yes,
Not
ma'am.
a
Very
big
true.
deal. We will do today, every day. Not
Sometimes, ma'am, I think it is just one point is a means for us to reach that end.
exactly, exactly. Even a moment I feel
Yeah,
like I
exactly.
experience that expanse, that's enough. It
That
doesn't
is
have to
an
people do for 2 hours, 3 hours, not like that.
that
Thoughts will keep
one.
running, they will keep sitting. That
But the realization, ma'am, it gives you a pleasure that okay, it keeps you makes you happy that okay, I have come one step ahead.
right, right.
I'm nearer to God.
That's so beautiful.
And
Such a
it
beautiful
is
way
the
of
FIR activity, no? The functional thoughts are okay. Whenever we are disturbed, it is the fastest recovery which gives us courage again to practice.
Mhm. Today Divya is very distracted.
Yeah, ma'am, it is a little hectic day. Kids are at home and things are a bit chaotic. But when I sat silently, I felt much better.
Mm.
That expansion, yes, Brahman is everything, no? It feels
Yeah.
so.
Isn't it? It's yeah. Could you put a limit? Could you put a limit there? Could you see
No,
where was that awareness? Was it located in one place? How was it?
ma'am, probably the realization. I think it is a realization that we are seeing something.
Was there a form?
Not a form, ma'am. It's kind of a point. Maybe we are pinpointing, focusing on a light. It's like a light being um, brightening, probably. I can
Brightness.
say.
Mm. Very nice. Anyone else? It didn't happen. It didn't happen. That's
Ma'am,
also
even
okay.
in a mental plane, whenever you feel expansive or like overflowing with love, it's such a good feeling, no, ma'am?
It's coming from not. It's not coming from mind.
Yeah, ma'am.
It's not coming from mind. When you're feeling an expanded love, it's not coming from the mind.
Sometimes you feel that, no, whenever you love everybody, you don't dislike anything or
It's
anything.
not coming. That time your mind is rested. It is coming from the self. That compassion, the deep compassion, the deep love that is coming, which is an expansive love, an expansive compassion, not a constricting one. A constricting one, the mind one will come because of, oh, this compassion, oh, I love because, or I feel compassionate because this has happened. But that expansive love, expansive compassion does not need any because. Whatever, that love is just flowing. That other person is shouting at you. But you are feeling that absolute compassion. Oh God, this is Brahman, but that person is so much in pain. It is because of the pain that person is shouting at me like this. It's a very expansive love and compassion. Even if they are shouting it or doing something. And in front of such a love, the others can't also stay for too long, like what Bhargavi just said, no? I love the Brahman within you. I accept it. That kind of love, that kind of humility, when you put it across, it breaks all barriers. It breaks the other person's mind also and touches the soul directly. Chalo. Anybody else wants to share before we move on? I think we'll go on to the next one. Jnana abhyasa. By constant jnana abhyasa. Jnana is I am the self. I am not the body. I am not the mind. I am the self. I am beyond all of this. Jnana abhyasa. Constant practice on this jnana. We have to eliminate all the vasanas. End the mind. Ending the mind is manonasha. Eliminate all the vasanas is vasanakshaya. And come to experience the self. Okay. Shall we move to verse 38 then? We'll move on to verse 38.
சொல்லியிருக்கேன் அவசரப்படாத
எனக்கா பிரேமாண்டி ஓகே விவிக்ததேசே ஆசீனோ விராகோ விஜிதேந்திரியः भावयेदेकमात्मानम् तमनन्तमनन्यधीः विविक्तदेशे आसीनो विरागो विजितेन्द्रियः भावयेदेकमात्मानं तमनन्तमनन्यधीः. Together we will chant. विविक्तदेशे आसीनो विरागो विजितेन्द्रियः भावयेदेकमात्मानं तमनन्तमनन्यधीः. Okay. Anyone who would like to read the word by word meaning?
I will read.
Yes, Premaji.
I mean, I have to tell the meaning.
You have to read word by word meaning and then everything.
Vividha desha. In a solitary place. Aseen.
Asinam.
Yeah. Virag, free from desires. Vijite nitraya.
Vijitendriya.
Vijitendriya, controlling the senses. Bhavayetu, meditate upon. Ekamu, one. Asman, the self.
Atmanam.
Atmanam, the self. Tum, that. Anantam, boundless. Anyadi, with unsevering attention. Sitting in a solitary place, freeing the mind from desires and controlling the senses. Meditate upon the Atman, which is one without a second, with unsevering attention. This verse explains the path of meditation, which take you face to face with the reality. Sitting in a lonely place with no disturbances around you, no agitations of the mind, or any wild roamings of the intellect, leaving behind all mental emotions and intellectual thoughts, which generally make the corner you sit noisy with your thundering desires and roaring expectations, and with the sense organs now brought perfectly under your own control. Identify with the self indicated above as your own nature. This is meditation. Meditate without any other thought in your mind in that quiet and sequestered atmosphere. Meditate upon that infinite Atman, which is one without a second. Be whole to assert the holy idea in that lonely intellectual field which transcends the concept of time, that you are that very same supreme being which is all pervading, pure, and eternal. This self transformation is known as bhavana. It is very difficult to find an appropriate word in English for the Sanskrit term bhavana. It is not a mere intellectual appreciation, nor is it a mere emotional viewing, and yet it is both. When both the function of intellect, thinking, and the function of the mind, feeling, are harmoniously woven together, we get the heart, and this function is the bhavana. The ardent courtings of the mind and the intellect end in their marriage at the altar of heart, and the joy of nuptial is bhavana.
So beautifully it has been put here.
Yeah.
So, giving the step by step for us here. So, in Patanjali Yoga Sutra, Ashtanga Yoga Sutra, you have the following, right? First, you do Yama Niyama. See, what is the purpose of following Yama Niyama in Patanjali Yoga Sutra? It is that discipline helps you practice. That discipline brings willpower. That willpower helps you be able to control the mind. So in that after Yama Niyama, once you have reasonably now become disciplined, you take asana. Okay. Asana is sit properly. You need to have one single place where you sit and meditate every day. Do not mix your sleeping place. You can have a bed in the bedroom, or we may not have huge houses, it doesn't matter, but one corner where not too many people walk around too much all the time. That corner you keep for your meditation, where the energies don't get mixed. That is why we have a puja room in our houses, where the energies don't get mixed and it is kept divine always. So the moment you are able to sit there, you are able to meditate. You can do puja, you can do your meditation wherever, but you sit there and you do this meditation. That is asana. Asinaha, be seated. Viragaha, which is what we did, free from all desires. Desires come from where? Because of sensory indulgences. So what we just did in the beginning, we just retreated all the senses by focusing on the breath. And then we turned around and jitendriya. See? So viragaha jitendriya, jita indriya. That is, you win over the senses. When you win over the senses, you don't allow the mind to see things. You don't allow the mind to hear things. You don't allow, in the sense, so how do you do that? By focusing on the breath. And then once you feel in control, that the mind is not pulled everywhere by your focus on your breath, meditate upon that ekam. Now turn around and see who is that who is observing the breath. Now be with that one who is observing the breath. Who is that Atmanam? That is the self. Anantam, boundless. Ananyadihi. No, there is no unswerving attention. There is completely no wavering of thoughts. Now you sit like that and you practice. And what was given at that time, it is beyond time. You just sit, and what is given here is that when you are with that self, it is that what pours out. You will have an experience. There is a kind of joy. There is a kind of elation. Sometimes you feel that bhavana, oh, this is so beautiful kind of feeling. This is so beautiful. You may feel like an upsurge of emotion, and that upsurge of emotion which says, wow, this is just so beautiful, is that bhavana, which is a convergence of the jnana, the intellect, and the heart. Convergence of bhakti and jnana brings up that bhavana, which Raghuramji speaks. He's very much loves that bhavana. This bhavana is very close to the divine. It's very close to the divine. There's just that feeling of, you can call it happiness, deep joy, or how beautiful kind of feeling. So these are all, now we don't have to break our head. I'm not feeling this, I'm not feeling that. No, this is the journey. They are giving us step by step, they are guiding us with so much compassion. Step by step, he has been, right? Shankaracharya is guiding us like we are little children. How step by step he has taken us from avidya. Now he has introduced us to who we are, and now he is telling how can you be with yourself. And he is giving us the steps to be with ourselves, how we can constantly do this abhyasa of being with that self. This compassion. Let us do this sadhana at least for, take your time to watch your breath and then to come to it for 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes in the evening. Choose a quiet time, a quiet place. If who said this? If you know, this was Ved Chaitanya ji from Chinmaya Mission. He said, if you're not able to find a time, you say everybody starts getting up and everybody is moving around and never get up. You get up at a time that is quiet and do it. You get up at a time and do it. Early morning, you get up, everybody will be silent, everybody will be sleeping. You will get your quiet time. You do it at that time. Anything? Any questions? Shall we close the session? We will close the session today. The next class, we will move to verse 39. He'll slowly teach us how, and then he'll also explain the experience of at the end. Asato ma sadgamaya, tamaso ma jyotirgamaya, mrityorma amritam gamaya, sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukkhabad bhavet. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Hari Om.